workshop was so good and exciting, and the workshop we can say it's met our expectation, what we already expected, and it was well organized, and it was achieved the milestones that has been needed. Our country it has been approved the Statistical Act of the country, which will facilitate us as a whole of the statistics to compile, and also for the migration statistics, we start to establish a unit with its functions inside the Bureau of Statistics, and also we have a technical working group with the IDBs, and we are expected to move from that to do more. At the outcome of this this workshop, one of the interesting things for our contacts in Somalia, it is how to do the MNU between the institutions, and also the data security and the data preferences. All of those issues tackled from the workshop. It will be good and lesson learning in my country, and also in a regional level. We are expecting that we will participate and contribute with the IGAD secretarial to compile this data. The action is that we are expecting that to every single country to move forward, particularly the Somalia, to collect and compile the data needed with the standards and the procedures that agreed in the statistical guidelines.
The workshop is an eye-opener on the issues pertaining to data, especially on sharing experiences from different countries and world organizations, especially on data sharing, harmonization of data, and all the issues pertaining to data. In Kenya, we have already established a technical working group on data under the National Coordination Mechanism for Migration. And this has been instrumental in developing data SOPs, memorandum of understanding on data sharing, and also it's in the forefront in data harmonization for the country. Some of the fears we've been having, especially on data security, have been at least solved. We've also understood some of the issues which are affecting data in other countries. They are also in our country, so we are not alone. And it's a good forum where we are now forging forward in terms of issues data for our country. After this workshop, we are going to finalize our data sharing protocols, which are necessary for data. We are also going to finalize our data share harmonization protocols, which have been emphasized in this meeting. We are also going to strengthen our technical working group so that we can have better data for not only use within the country and also sharing with our partners and the world at large.
The workshop was informative, and we are able to exchange knowledge and experience from different countries of IGAD region about standard concepts and definition of migration. In my country, we have already started, CBS started, the Center of Growth Statistics started the second phase of National Strategy for Development of Statistics. From that we have a compendium of definition and concept, statistical law, and the gathering of user and producer of migration data. fact, there were many lessons learned from different countries in the topic of migration, like Ethiopia, Djibouti. We get benefit from that, like the activation of the mechanism of coordination between different sectors at the national level. Yeah, in fact, we are going to reflect that the necessity of changing attitude between different stakeholders about exchange of data and data sharing about migration from producers and users, so as to reach this topic and find good data for migration at the IGAD region.
The workshop, as far as I'm concerned or my experience is concerned, is quite educative, informative. We have learned a lot. It is bringing the IGAD countries closer in terms of migration statistics. For example, the definition of indicators, the definition of other statistical terms. So it actually enables us to share very many experiences that we would not have got if we had not come for this workshop. In my country, we are working closely with the IOM. We signed a memorandum of understanding with the IOM December 2019. This memorandum was signed between the chairman, National Bureau of Statistics, and the country representative, IOM. Now, as a result, we have been cooperating together. For example, the displacement tracking mechanism. We are actually sharing the data with the IOM, and also the IOM established a data management office in National Bureau of Statistics. Now, recently, we conducted population estimation survey where the IOM donated 100 tablets, which we actually use. The IOM also donated desktop computers at the borders for capturing the migrants, and many other corporations that we are dealing with. This this workshop is going to benefit our country in a sense that more surveys are going to be conducted that actually include the migration module, and we are going to make sure that the harmonized indicators and other definitions are incorporated into the statistics. After the workshop, we are actually going to make sure that we work closely with all ministries, departments, agencies to make sure that the migration data is inclusive. And this data, we are going to share it together with the members of IGAD countries so that we can harmonize the statistics for comparability.
The workshop is already good because what we expect this workshop is it can integrate the regional work, and also it can give to bring all states to the same platforms regarding the migration statistics. In Ethiopia, the Migration Statistics Technical Working Group is established. So we are trying to produce migration statistics from administrative records. On this page, we are also drafted the memorandum of understanding between the expected organizations, and also data sharing protocols and identified indicators that can be shared with different organizations are identified. So we are doing our best. At the end of this workshop, what we expect is the first thing, as I said before, the countries can be, regional countries can be becomes under the same platform, and they can share experiences because of this workshop, and because it brings different countries together, and we are experienced in different ways, and their practices are different. I think we can decrease the gap between countries, and we can make to data harmonization a great work. As of completion, what we expect is countries can produce their own memorandum understanding that can use for memorandum understanding that can use for the technical working group, and those countries that do not have the technical working group could also establish their technical working group. And finally, what we expect is the end of product of this workshop could be on establishing systems that can help us to produce migration statistics.
You know, we've been able to learn a lot about harmonization of migration statistics. You know, we've been able to identify the IGAD key indicators on migration. We've been able to get a view on how different countries collect data, analyze, store, disseminate that same information, as well as sharing that migration data. So it's been pretty useful in terms of knowledge sharing across the IGAD region. We are making lots of progress in terms of automation and online data services. So for instance, the online visa processing for foreign nationals coming into the country, the national ID system, which is also automated, the data collection at entry points, the border entry points. We have 54 gazetted border points, but the challenge is that only 17 are automated, and then we have also a number of them which we could call illegal. They are not gazetted, and of course you know that most of our borders are porous, so we're not able to capture some of those entries into the country. But overall, we've made lots of progress. We have the External Employment Management Information System, which captures data on migration for work abroad. So right from the start, you know, somebody looking for a job, applying online until they leave the country, stay abroad and come back. So that data is captured. So we're making quite tremendous progress in that regard. This is a knowledge sharing workshop, that's one. So from our team alone, we're 5 from Uganda. So that will technically be our technical working group, national technical working group on data, migration data. So we'll be able to go back home, share the information that we've got here, including the IGAD report, which was provided here, which we deliberated on. So we'll look at it again and see if there are any gaps. As the 5 experts here, we'll be able to fill in those gaps. But above all, we hope that will be made use of by the country in terms of capacity building, in terms of policy development, in terms of overall data collection, in terms of migration. We ensure data processing, data dissemination, data sharing amongst our different ministries, departments and agencies, because we want to act as one government, not in silos where every ministry, department or agency does its own thing alone. We look forward to collaborating with the national actors on the ground, the organizers of this meeting, especially the International Organization for Migration, IGAD, the International Labour Organization, the African Union, and for us who also belong to the EAC, the East African Community. We hope to, borrow a leaf and see how we can have this also mainstreamed in the EAC processes and ultimately harmonize EAC and IGAD processes.
Right from the time the Intergovernmental Authority on Development, IGAD, elaborated the Regional Migration Action Plan under the Regional Migration Policy Framework, which is a regional rollout of the African Union Migration Policy Framework at continental level. We have made a lot of progress. First of all, statistics in general and migration statistics in particular is elaborated as one of the key priority areas in the Regional Migration Policy Framework of IGAD. And therefore, the policy embeds migration statistics as a very important aspect of migration governance. And secondly, we have been working with the African Union as well as our partners, IOM, United Nations Labour Organization, GIZ, and Statistics Sweden, towards elaborating a regional coherent action, which is to develop and support member states to have good, reliable, accurate, and accessible statistics for development planning, for migration governance management, and migration governance in general. With specific technical assistance and funding assistance from the government of Sweden through Statistics Sweden, we have now an elaborate program of statistics in IGAD, and we have been able to mobilize our member states, the key institutions of member states, the ministries of foreign affairs, the ministries of internal affairs, the ministries of labor, and above all, the National Bureau of Statistics, to work with the Secretariat of IGAD towards having very good statistical institutional service in each of the member states. So in that sense, the technical assistance from the IGAD Secretariat has supported regional forums and regional activities, from assessments to trainings on statistics governance in the region. The first thing is we would like to continue the collaboration and the guidance from African Union. That's very important. So our link and our connection and work relations with StatAfrique, the African Union headquarters for statistics in Tunis, is very important. And secondly, we would like to continue getting technical assistance from our partners, the specialists of statistics governance, that is Statistics Sweden, GIZ, IOM, so that IGAD Secretariat can strengthen its internal capacity on statistics, as well as strengthen the statistical agencies of our member states. At the same time, I would like to let them know that we foresee to have a very vibrant statistics headquarters or statistics unit in IGAD Secretariat in Djibouti, which will oversee and support the whole planning division and the whole of these other divisions of IGAD, be it social development, economy, rural development, infrastructure, and so on. So it is important that the partners foresee that there is need for more robust and more continued technical assistance, as well as funding assistance to IGAD Secretariat. The second message is we would like the partners to recognize that the responsibility of statistics is with the member states of IGAD, because their governments, they need accurate statistics, they need timely statistics, they need useful statistics for planning purposes, for the national planning processes, for governance of migration, and therefore member states are the lead and are the prime responsible actors in the whole discussion and whole action of statistics.
The workshop has been an amazing experience in terms of learning and changing and sharing experiences. So I really have, in the name of the Djiboutian delegation, it's been really a great and productive workshop for us, because we learn not only from the experience of other countries, but we were also here to share our experience with regards to the establishment of the technical working group on migration data. And in that regard, it was really an excellent opportunity for us. So in Djibouti, as I was just mentioning, we have put in place a technical working group on migration data in order to harmonize and centralize migration-related data, and to also analyze them and disseminate them. So right now we are at an advanced stage where, for example, we have elaborated a harmonized tool for data collection, and also we drafted a protocol for data sharing between ministries, departments and agencies that work on migration data. So we are very happy and glad of what we have been doing so far. So the outcome of this workshop for us first will be, for example, learning from the experience of Ethiopia, for example. When we go back to Djibouti, we want to do some of the things that Ethiopia have done, for example, with regards to their technical working group. And for the region, it's a great opportunity of exchanging experience. For example, some countries in the region are in their early stages of creating their technical working groups on migration data, and so we are hoping that this will help them also learn from the experience of those who have had technical working groups, and the end product of this workshop will be to have harmonized migration data in the IGAD region. And also the end goal also is to improve the lives of migrants, but also that of host communities, and really to benefit from all the development potential that migration have and might have for our region. After the conclusion of this workshop, so we will have the next meeting of the technical working group in Djibouti at the end of this month, because currently it's the summer, so people are in their holidays. So we will convene the next at the end of this month. Also, what I wanted to share is that in Djibouti, the national coordination mechanism on migration has officially been put in place. It was created, but it was not installed yet. So as of this month, the national coordination mechanism is in place. We have drafted and validated a national strategy for migration. So for the next month and the coming months, our goal will be really to draw activities from the national strategy on migration and to carry the work forward.